afternoon and welcome on Paramount Plus 10 Bowled and 10 Play to McDonald Jones Stadium on the land of the Awabakal and Warramie people for the final time in this 2024-25 season. It's the Newcastle Jets' penultimate match of the campaign. They take on a visiting Western Sydney side, hoping that there is still plenty of football left in their season. These two sides who have finished the season very well, the Western Sydney Wanderers, who are enjoying a huge support away in Newcastle this afternoon, are undefeated in their last 10 matches under the guidance of Alan Stajic. They take on a Jets side who, despite a valiant comeback in the second half of the season, fell just short of finals football, confirmed last weekend with that 3-2 loss against Sydney FC. You see the ladder there, still plenty to play for the Western Sydney Wanderers. They can climb into third place and keep the pressure on, keep hopes alive of perhaps finishing in the top six. Before all that, on this Anzac Day weekend, let's head down match side for the ceremony.
Gentlemen, please be upstanding for our Anzac commemorative ceremony. Our ode will be read by Robert Newton from the RSL sub-branch, with the last post and rouse to be performed by musician Blaine Stubbs.
Ladies and gentlemen, we shall grow not old as they are grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the game forgets. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them, lest we forget.
Please remain standing for a moment's silence and the rouse, to be followed by the New Zealand National Anthem sung by Claudia Mackay and the Australian National Anthem performed by Hannah Christopher.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free, with golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea, our land abounds in nature's gift of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
There are the travelling supporters for the Western Sydney Wanderers looking to cheer their side on to finals football. They've played just one finals match in the last 8 seasons, the Western Sydney Wanderers. They are hoping this could be their season. And there is Rob Stanton. We know that this is his last home game in charge of the Jets. He's leaving at the end of the season. He'll still be hoping to avoid that cup playoff match and the trip to Darwin, which will be held in the next 3 weeks. He's never beaten the Western Sydney Wanderers. Alan Stajic used to coach the Central Coast Mariners, the Newcastle Jets' great rivals, just down the F3. He'll be looking to get one over them again and send his side into what he hopes will be a top 4 finish. Tim Danascus is our central referee this afternoon, being assisted by Owen Goldrick and Matthew McCorrist. Nathan Shakespeare is the 4th official. Daniel Elder and George Lacrindus are in the VAR room. It's the 3rd time for the Jets this season for referee Tim Danascus, the 1st time for the Wanderers. We're just about set for the start. Let's have a look at how our 2 sides are lining up for this one. No changes for Rob Stanton's Jets then, where Ryan Scott continues in goal despite the return of Noah James to the bench. Daniel Wilmering and Thomas Aquilina have played every match this season. They are 2 of 5 former Wanderers in the Jets matchday squad, including captain Costa Grozos. Clayton Taylor makes his 50th A-League appearance this afternoon, while it's number 100 for striker Lockie Rose. Well, for Alan Stajic, he has made 2 changes from the side that drew 2-2 with Melbourne City last time out, securing finals football this season. Josh Brelante's recovered from a hamstring niggle. He comes in for Dean Pelikanos. And in attack, Aidan Hammond gets the nod over Zach Sapsford. Nick Milanovic needs just 3 more goals to equal Oriol Riera's 15, an all-time high in a single season for the Wanderers back in 17-18. There is Lockie Rose, number 100 for him. He's scored 8 goals this season, 7 of them he's opened the scoring for his side. And it is the Western Sydney Wanderers get this one underway. They have secured their place in the finals, and now they are looking to keep hopes alive of a 2nd place finish. For the Newcastle Jets, well, it's a season that never really got off the ground despite a good second half of the campaign. They did, however, have one highlight. It was their last time at home and a 6-0 victory, their largest ever home win over their old rivals, the Central Coast Mariners. Daniel McBreen, that one must have stung all the Mariners fans, but importantly, can they keep it going and finish what has been a difficult season on a high?
Well, good evening, Robbie. I think this is a real banana skin for Alan Stajic's team.
Let's just see if they can negotiate the first few seconds well enough. Deflected shot off Brandon Borello, and it's gone out for a corner. I think to a corner to me. Referee says throw in the end.
Well, a bit of a scrappy start from the Jets. Some clearances not really hitting the mark. A little bit of indecision as well. Giving Wanderers an opportunity early. It's a team you don't want to give opportunities to. Score so freely. Top scorers in the league. We're still looking at that second spot on the ladder.
Goes back to ball in. Well, when your confidence is as high as Nick Milanovic's is at the moment, why not go for goal of the century?
Why not? His confidence is very high. 12 goals for the season.
He scored a hat-trick in the first meeting between these two sides back in Sydney earlier this season, his first ever professional hat-trick. He's actually overtaken Brandon Borello, the club's all-time scoring charts. That's a great ball for Lockie Rose and a great touch for Timmins. He was dragged down by Priestman. The referee doesn't really have any choice. Just 2 minutes in, yellow card for the Western Sydney Wanderer midfielder.
That was a lovely play from the Newcastle Jets. Good ball forward. This touch here from Lockie Rose just to put it into the path of Callum Timmins. Oscar Priestman, he knew that if Timmins was getting free there was a spare Newcastle Jets player just to his left. Needed to make the foul.
Well, it was a bright opening few seconds from the Western Sydney Wanderers. Now let's see what the Jets have in reply. Kota, ball in is a good one as well. Charles Momwa and Lockie Rose all failed to get on the end of it.
Well, it was great delivery, wasn't it? They all just thought the person in front was going to get a touch. And it went through everyone.
Milanovic's touch just getting away from him there. He claps his hands in frustration. Kota Izanuma up the line for Lockie Rose. The Jets' season really turned around when Lockie Rose came back from that injury that he suffered on the eve of the season, coupled with the arrival of Kota Izanuma in the January transfer window. They won just 3 matches to go with 8 defeats in the first 12 games of the season, the Jets. They've lost just 3 since then in the next 12.
It's been a remarkable turnaround. Just goes to show that you get your signings right, how things can quickly change. Interesting to see as next season comes around, the Jets can retain players and can they add to that list? Can you talk about new incoming coach? Can they be finals contenders?
Long ball from Shushnyar. Somehow that's not gone out. Daniel Wilbrink. Got odds on that was running out of play for a corner. In the end, free kick on Milanovic.
Now they're trying to be aggressive, but just manhandling Milanovic just a little too much.
Bonatig with Kraev. Goes back to Alex Bonatig again. Now Lawrence Thomas. We know he's not going anywhere. No word yet on the future of Alan Stajic, whether he'll be there at the Wanderers or not next season. For the Jets, the worst kept secret in Australian football is that Mark Milligan will be taking over. It's just a matter of when the club want to announce it, and I suspect it depends a little bit on whether they're playing in that cup playoff in Darwin as well, because the season might yet go for another couple of weeks. If they finish in the bottom 4, they can avoid that with a win or 2 in these last couple of matches of the season. Here's Mizunuma again. The cross comes off Gers back, and they finally have that first corner.
Well, I think with the Wellington Phoenix result that's just happened,
It's done and dusted.
Yeah, I think it's done and dusted now. So they're playing for pride. send their fans away from their last home game with a win, of course.
In it comes. Header from Bonatig and swept back goalwards by Timmins. He's been lively in these first few minutes.
I've been impressed with him as well. Talk about Lockie Rose returning from injury, Otamina Zanuma coming in, Aquilina Timmins. We've seen them all step up, be a real part of this second half of the season. And of course, we've spoken many times about Eli Adams as well, Clayton Taylor. Some real talent in this Jets squad.
It's confirming that Brisbane's victory over Wellington Phoenix means that Perth Glory need 2 wins in their last 2 games to try and avoid the wooden spoon. Brisbane 4 points clear of them, and then the Phoenix and the Mariners, irrespective of what happens next weekend, are indeed heading to Darwin for the Australia Cup playoff matches. Hammond, got quick feet but can't find Priestman inside. Timmins closed down by Priestman. He's done well. The former Sydney FC midfielder comes away with the ball. Now looks up. Glancing header from Shushnyar. Milanovic able to turn inside, and just wouldn't sit for him.
He just looked to take that ball inside, didn't he? Just couldn't quite get the touch right. The overlapping run and just dragged Aquilina a step or 2 wider.
Interesting to see Nick Milanovic playing that central striking role today with Zach Sapsford on the bench. Aidan Hammond coming in onto that right-hand side. Sapsford vacating that central role alongside Brandon Borrello. Now Klur taking off as Hammond recovers possession. The touch from Clayton Taylor. Klur again. Aidan Hammond still. Brillante. Back outside, closed down by Taylor. Hammond. Oh, and then completely misjudging the run of Brillante, and that's a cheap turnover. Lockie Rose is given the opportunity to put some pressure on Panazopoulos. Here's Bonatig. Goes back. He's holding down that left full-back position since his return from Europe and the US. After a decade away, he came back in the January transfer window as well. Klur's header for Hammond. Inside Milanovic. For the ambitious switch of play. Picked off by Aquilina. Charles Monbois. Good ball from Izanuma. 2 to aim for in the middle. 3 with Clayton Taylor arriving at the back post. Defensive header. Jets are looking to transition quickly when they do get the ball. They haven't won at home against the Wanderers since February 2022. 2 draws since then, but this fixture has been very much in Wanderers' favour over the last few years. Here's Grozos. Cross is a good ball to the back post. That's a fantastic piece of defending from Panazopoulos.
Well, he had to get there, didn't he? Lockie Rose, as he does so often, just peeling off the shoulder. That was a delightful ball in. You see there, Panazopoulos at full stretch. Bolina has given us some great assists this season. There's almost another one there. Term. Ball worked in
post. Costa Grozos went to ground. He's asking the question of the referee. It's gone all the way out for a throw-in on that far side.
Let's have another look here. It's Costa Grozos has to go around the back post area. Josh Brillante. Just a half full of hand of shirt there. Got away with it.
We saw a little bit of controversy last night where a handful of shirt or a little bit of a waltz was not enough to trigger the threshold with the VAR. MacArthur weren't too happy about it. MacArthur, whose season has also come to an end. Defensive throw for the Wanderers. The Jets trying to play the ball, keep the pressure on in this half of the field. And Molina straight out of play in front of his own bench there. Goes back long, one for Milanovic to chase. Shushnyar front position all the way back to Ryan Scott. One in the air by Gersbach, but that will run out for a goal kick. The opportunity to head down to Daniel Garb, who's on the sidelines for us at McDonald Jones Stadium. Garby.
Thank you very much, Robbie. Wonderful to be here because the Wanderers supporters have ensured there is a balmy atmosphere around McDonald Jones Stadium. Isn't this a sight to behold? I mean, it's been building for a while, the renaissance of Western Sydney. This is just another chapter in all of that. This incredible turnout, 2.5 bays occupied by Western Sydney fans amid this 10-game undefeated run for their football club. Most of them drove down. The club offered buses, but they decided to drive down, probably get here a little bit quicker, and I dare say a fair few of them are likely to spend the night in Newcastle enjoying themselves as well, especially if their team has another victory. It might rain this afternoon. I don't think it will on Western Sydney's parade. For their supporters, nonetheless.
Thank you, Garvey. Yes, there is a little weather alert that could be on its way through Newcastle in the next couple of hours. Let's hope it holds off, at least for the time, for this final home match of the season at McDonald Jones. Plur for Hammond. Good pressure from the Jets. They are trying to play very positively. So perhaps deciding that attack is the best form of defence against this Wanderers side, who we know are very good in transition as well, but they have scored more goals in the first 15 minutes of matches than anybody else. They got a couple against Melbourne City last weekend, although it wasn't enough in the end, but it's a turnover high up the pitch here. Kraev with Priestman. Now Panazopoulos. They have some great individual talents, Western Sydney. It's not only in transition, it's also in the vision and of a Kraev, in the industry of a Borello, the quick feet of a Hammond, the power of Milanovic. Moratic. Borello himself in a bit of a muddle.
That sums up the Wanderers, I think, this opening 15 minutes. Possession, just been a little sloppy on their passes, their touches. They've been into a couple of opportunities where you think this could be incisive, and it's just rather petered out.
Well, a win, they will move back above Melbourne victory, victorious last night over MacArthur. A couple of very nice goals in that one. Hammond again. Well defended by Charles Mombwa, Tanzania international. And now Clayton Taylor. His 50th A-League match. He's had a good season. Giving away the free kick just on Josh Brillante.
Well, he did well there, Josh Brillante. Matched for pace, got his body across, and then just felt the clip on the heels. Got the game going straight away again. Trying to get Western Sydney Wanderers on the front foot.
Priestman. Lawrence Thomas, great ball for Gersbach, bypassing Newcastle's press, and they can try and transition quickly here. The ball from Borello is great. Milanovic on his left foot shoots. Too hot for Ryan Scott to handle at the first time of asking. Now Fleur, that is where Western Sydney are so dangerous.
Oh, it's a little snapshot there, wasn't it? Borello just dropping into midfield.
Great turn from Krajev as well, gets it back from Milanovic. Now outside, just too heavy on the angle, but all of a sudden, just reminding the Jets.
It was Borello who dropped into the midfield position, faced forward, and Milanovic was off like a shot. Beautifully weighted ball, right into the path. A little wide on the angle there, probably favoured Ryan Scott. It's going to take something spectacular. Just a little glimpse of what the Wanderers can do and how quick they can change it.
It's a third shot at goal for Western Sydney already. And their best sighting so far, just after the quarter hour, so the Jets have passed the first test against this Wanderers side, undefeated in their last 10 matches, undefeated in their last 9 away from home as well. We're edging towards club records in both those departments. 13 matches without defeat, set back in 2013, their inaugural season. The first 2 seasons, it seems like a very long time ago now. Kleur drives the ball in, Milanovic. Well, it beat Shushnyar at the near post, and perhaps Milanovic will feel he should have done better.
Oh, no doubt he will. It was a wonderful ball in. Real Kleur picking out Milanovic. Just wondering if Shushnyar just puts him off a little. He's in an onside position. Just wondering, with Shushnyar getting up, maybe did he get a slight touch on it as well that took it off his head?
A record for away matches without defeat for Western Sydney, 12. Also goes back to 2012 and 2013, those first 2 seasons. They've lost just once away all season. That was at Allianz Stadium in the derby. Gersbach. Their fans making plenty of noise on that far side of the pitch. Gersbach again. There are a concentration of Wanderers fans over there, but there are also Wanderers fans scattered all around the stadium, really, little pockets of red and black. Fleur looking for the free kick, goes to ground a little theatrically, and referee Tim Danaskas not interested. Mombwa, another of the January arrivals, as a free agent, he's made a place for himself in this Jets side. Aquilina. Adams. Oh, that's a good ball for Mizunuma. He's able to keep it in. Adams wants it back into feet. Gets it now a little bit later. Timmins. He allows it to run out for a corner. The Jets back on the front foot.
Such is the quality of delivery from Coach Mizunuma. And Timmins just allowing the ball to run out. Doesn't need to put the cross in himself. The expert to do it.
Referee just wants to have a word before we get this corner back underway. Western Sydney have conceded 14 goals from set pieces this season. It's more than any other side. In it comes, near post this time from Mizunuma. We know his delivery is He's so good from those corners and free kicks. Mombo battling hard, keeps it alive. Rozos with Wilmering. Mombo again. Now Eli Adams. Very elegant player who's grown in confidence, almost come of age this season after losing his way at Melbourne Victory. Kraev looked offside. Flag stays down for now. He accelerates away from Shushnya. Ball deep to the back post, hasn't gone out of play. So Milanovic has got there. Clever from Gersbach. Hammond. Borello back for Aidan Hammond. He's got a good shot on him. Just crowded out. Kraev again with Kleur. Runners coming from everywhere. They commit numbers forward. Bonatig's ball, this one's overhit to the back post, is it? Or perhaps not. Kraev can't get there. Referee says goal kick. Big up and under, a few groans from the terraces. Melbourne City taking on Adelaide United. Massive clash for finals football. Adelaide United's last hurrah. They've got the bye next weekend, so this is it. They must pick up all 3 points, and that, of course, would open the door in the race for second place and take that all the way down to the wire. Anything other than a victory for Adelaide and Sydney FC will almost certainly be playing finals football in their place. Wilmering clips the ball back inside to Lockie Rose. Well, he went for the spectacular as well. His confidence is pretty high. Had an outstanding second half of the season. Get as close as Milanovic did.
Well, I was just about to say, he didn't quite have the same style.
He went the Aria Piol leading leg instead of the... Here we go. Adams in behind. The cutback was good, and so was the defensive job. Panasopoulos again, not for the first time this evening.
Well, two players who have excelled this year. Eli Adams getting in behind, and Panasopoulos clearing. Great football.
Good defence again from Brillante there. There is Panasopoulos. It's been a bit of a coming-of-age season for him as well, after a difficult first year in the pros, after signing from MPL Victoria. It's a big step from the MPL to the A-League and full-time professionalism. It does take a certain period of adaptation.
And he has a little bit of old-school centre-back about him, doesn't he? Loves a header, loves a challenge. I'm not saying that he can't play on the ball as well, but he's got that aggressive side to him. When you watch him off the play, he doesn't mind a bit of a niggle as well. He'll be tussling with the strikers before the ball arrives to gain the upper hand.
Bonatig back with Thomas again. Brillante coming deep. Hammond finding a little bit of space. They've managed to play their way out of trouble, the Wanderers, and it almost came off again. Nicely done, Shushnya.
Well, all the party pieces are coming out. We've got centre-backs now pulling off the Maradonas.
There you can see those travelling supporters again. They're making most of the noise. There is a small squadron for the home fans up the other end. The squadron's gone, hasn't it? Newcastle active support.
This is the scenes tonight with the fans, Western Sydney fans over there, they do take me back to 2013 when Wanderers came here and won the premiership here at Newcastle. Almost half of that stadium was full of Wanderers supporters.
Well played, Priestman. Well, they are turning back the clock a bit this season. Kleur. Alan Stajic has done a great job. Hammond back for Kleur, cross in. Borello trying to get there at the back post, now making life difficult for Ryan Scott. That's a good challenge from Bonatig. It's Eli Adams who's down, clutching his ankle after that challenge from Bonatig. Play continues for the moment. Kleur again, Brillante. Stops and props, back for Kleur, to the edge of the box towards Borello. Eli Adams is back to his feet, able to continue. Gersbach. 54 goals this season. They're the leading scorers in the competition. They've scored in their last 10 in a row. 26 goals in that period. And you can feel the excitement when they step on the accelerator. Here they are again for Borello. He was looking to touch it to Kraev. Now he finds Hammond. He lets fly. Can't keep it down. Let's head back down to Daniel Garb, who's keeping a close watch on the two benches for us, Garby.
Yeah, and it's great to watch Robbie Sampson, and we all know this is his second last game in charge of Newcastle. You wouldn't know it. I mean, the way in which he's encouraging his team, driving his team on, the frustration that is clearly building up in him at times, but then the positivity that emanates from him throughout his team. There are a lot of people who feel as if he's been dealt with rather harshly, considering the job he's done at Newcastle. You wouldn't know it watching him. Professional and full of integrity through to the end. It looks like it's his first game in charge, never mind his second last. It's great to see.
Thank you, Garby. He's always said, Robbie Stanton, he'll keep going to the end of his tenure. The club will go on without him. He will move on as well. Ever the pragmatist. Here's Priestman again. Kleur's touch. Already Hammond being asked to repeat the sprints up and down that right-hand side. Wanderers really dominating possession in this one, nearly 2/3 of the ball. They've had 5 shots to 1. In the back, that Jets defence. Anazopoulos long but overhit this time towards Gabriel Kleur. Aquilina back with Grozos. Holding on, it's going to be a second yellow card, and Pandazopoulos joins Priestman in the book.
I think he needed to foul there. Bonatig had covered him. Read that the ball was going to bounce over the top and just slid across to cover. Pandazopoulos being caught up in the challenge, didn't notice his teammate getting there. It's a clear foul.
Where an old school defender has to be able to channel that aggression as well. Goes back, not allowing Mizunuma any chance on the ball there. Wilmering. Shushnyar. Side, taking out our effects mic.
Well, we haven't seen too much of Clayton Taylor tonight, have we? Been very quiet. maybe get on the ball as much as he would have liked.
That's the attacking Gabriel Cleur down that right-hand side as well, forcing him back.
Sorry, you have to say also Josh Brillante in that holding 6 position. When Cleur goes forward, he covers across, slots in and almost at right back to help out.
Goes back, turns inside, Mizunuma. Great touch, Borello. Can he find space for the shot? Not immediately now. Cleur takes off again. Little dink over the top. He won't get... Oh, he has got there. A bit too casual from Mombois. Mizunuma back with Timmins. That's really well worked way to play yourselves out of a tight press. Rose, though, can't find Adams.
Well, they've been happy to do that on a number of occasions tonight. The Jets just draw the press out and then look to find Lockie Rose high 1v1.
That's a great ball from Priestman. Milanovic, this is where he's so dangerous, coming in from that right flank. I thought for a moment it was in. Off hands. It's a good save from Ryan Scott to turn it into the side netting.
Well, again, they show their danger in transition. Showing wide onto his right foot. Wasn't how Kraev was making up the ground in the far post, but I'm sure he was going to get there in time. Ryan Scott, good left hand to keep it out.
Referee wants to have a word at this end now. Western Sydney have scored from 6 corners this season. That's second only to Auckland and Western United. Many of Western Sydney's attacking stats from set-piece work. Oh, it's the header from Milanovic. Couldn't get it on target, but again, he comfortably beat Kota Mizunuma at the back post.
A bit of a mismatch really there physically, isn't it? Tall and powerful Milanovic.
That's brilliantly won back again. Milanovic still going. Referee waited to see if there was any advantage. Aidan Hammond fouled, and now they will have another set piece to try and bring some danger on Ryan Scott's goal. Does have really quick feet. Aidan Hammond. It's been a good season for him. 4 goals. Return from Europe, where he'd done much of his youth training in Portugal with the Mariners. That ball is wasted to the back post. And then from Mariners Academy, signed for Western Sydney in January of 2024. Brother Tristan was an Australia under-19 international as well, and was playing in Portugal before a move to Austria a couple of years ago. Bontic is there just ahead of Eli Adams. Got a couple of goals here, Eli Adams. The last home match in that 6-0 romp over the Mariners. Well played, Kraev. Timmins could find himself almost into the book if I think that's what Alan Stancic is asking.
Yeah, so well, we've had 2 players booked for slowing down the play. Why isn't that one?
Shakespeare, the fourth official, can be quite happy that there's a big area between the two technical areas. Can't get too close.
Well, I'm sure he can still hear both coaches. And they get a rest out there, the fourth official.
Here's Kraev again, finding a little bit of space. Flicks it back inside. Borello leaves it for Hammond. Well defended, Grozos. Oh, but Clayton Taylor's just turned straight into trouble again under pressure from Kleur. And it's Hammond who won it back. Panazopoulos. First time it's overhit, looking for that big diagonal pass towards Gabriel Kleur. Such a handful, Lockie Rose, even when he's ploughing a lone furrow up front, never stops running. 8 goals in the second half of the season, one behind Eli Adams' 9. Taylor trying to fashion a shooting opportunity. That's a great first touch from Borello, manages to keep it alive. Looks long to Hammond, but by that stage the Jets have got numbers back. Lockie Rose brilliantly backing in with Panazopoulos. Somehow Panazopoulos recovers. It just wouldn't sit for Rose.
Well, they've had their tussles today. Lockie Rose looked to have got the better there of Panazopoulos, but he recovered well. Fans too happy with the challenge, but it just sat up, allowed Panazopoulos to just get in front of Lockie Rose before the shot was taken. Here's another look at it. Real battle in that area, and as it gets chested down, you see he just can't quite get over it to get it down quick enough. And that's all it takes to allow the defender to get back in.
Just over half an hour since the Jets had their last shot in the match. That's good play from Bonatic now. Kraev for Milanovic. Flag stays down for now. The cutback is brilliant for Borello. Takes the touch and shoots across the face of goal. Now the flag does go up against Milanovic. It looked a very tight thing on this near side.
He went early, Milanovic, and then he tried to stop his run. You see, tried to change the direction or run across the line. Still very tight. Those lines would have been very close indeed if that ball had gone in, but wasn't to be.
Talk that Scottish football would be the next port of call for Nick Milanovic. He has made no secret of the fact that he thought he was leaving during the last off-season to Dinamo Zagreb in Croatia. He felt it was almost a done deal, or that it was a done deal in the end. Like all things in football, until it's signed on the dotted line, you can never be 100% sure. Referee allows play to continue again. He's enjoyed a great season. Milanovic is now level with Mitchell Duke in equal 4th place in the all-time Wanderers scoring charts with 24 goals, one more than Brandon Borello.
I think we've really seen him mature over the last 12 months as well. Racked up some good numbers last year. We've seen him go to another level this season.
He was equal top scorer last year with 9. Borello, Panazopoulos just behind Hammond. You can see the idea. Monbois. Aquilina. I've only really seen Aquilina forward once in the match as well for that cross cut out by Panazopoulos. Brillante. Kraev. This one-touch football again from the Wanderers. Kleur invited forward. Back with Brillante. Jets have plenty of numbers back though. Hammond. Kraev. With football blocked behind, corner.
That was nice play, wasn't it? As you said, Robbie, the one-touch football, good movement off the ball as well. Really enjoying the majority of possession, Western Sydney. Just about 64%. Newcastle struggling to keep that ball.
Rose heads away. Brillante's cross goes back, who almost had an Olympico goal a couple of weeks ago. In the end, given as an own goal against Matt Sutton. Bonatig, that's a good ball. Excellent defensive header from Shushnyar. Kraev back in. It's Panazopoulos throwing himself to ground. Borello. Just waited a bit too long. Mombwa though. Can't release Mizunuma. The Wanderers have it straight back again with 2.5 minutes left in the first half. Goes back. Well intercepted by Aquilina. Kraev. Good turn. Kraev's won it back off Aquilina. Goes back's first time ball, only finds Charles Mombwa. I do get the feeling the Jets are not completely serene when the ball's in their back third.
They're getting a lot of bodies back, aren't they? So when they do win that ball, there isn't really too many options higher up the pitch. Just forced them to either go direct to Lockie Rose on his own, or almost just play it anywhere. The onus is on Western Sydney here. They've been kept to 2 shots on target, both from a tight angle, both Milanovic, one on each side. Apart from that, they haven't really troubled Ryan Scott at all.
Milanovic is the author of 5 of the Wanderers' 7 shots in the match so far as Borello takes off. Good touch again. Milanovic wants it on his left from distance. Well, there's no shortage of ambition in that left boot, but
Make that 6.
6 of 8.
A bit rushed, wasn't he? Got out his feet and just rushed a little, stretching at the ball. Keep it down.
Final seconds of the first half, in which the Western Sydney Wanderers have dominated the ball, dominated the chances, but apart from that one Ryan Scott save from Milanovic at his near post, the Jets have had a couple of little half moments where perhaps they could have stolen something. 1 minute of time added on at the end of this first half. Bonatig, the ball player at the back. Panazopoulos with Lawrence Thomas. Bonatig again under pressure. That was good. That's the press we saw in the opening couple of minutes from the Jets that we haven't seen once the Wanderers managed to play their way out a couple of times. Here's Shushnyar now from distance. Ooh. Perhaps Lawrence Thomas judged it early. That one fizzed over the crossbar.
Just see it unfolding as the space opened up in the first half.
Well, the Jets finishing on top. Shushnyar does have a banger in his locker of occasion. not to be so far. It's been the Wanderers on top, but they've been knocking on a shut door so far. Brandon Borello, Nick Milanovic and co have had the majority of the chances, but for the moment the best attack in the A-League has been kept scoreless at half-time at McDonald Jones Stadium. It's the Jets 0, Wanderers 0. Well, we're going to head off to a quick break now, and we will be back with the half-time show. Don't go away.
This year's Alex Tobin Medal is brought to you by Isuzu UTE. The winner of the prestigious award will win their choice of a brand new top-of-the-range Isuzu D-Max or 7-seat MUX. Plus, the Isuzu UTE Alex Tobin medalist will nominate a junior football club to win $10,000. Make sure you're watching this season's grand final when the winning player and club will be revealed.
Welcome back to McDonald Jones Stadium. Scoreless at the break between the Wanderers and the Jets, and for the moment it's the Jets that are keen to get this second half underway. The Wanderers still in the changing room, 9 of them at least, because Zach Sapsford and Jared Carluccio are all set to join the action at the halfway point. So at the moment we're just waiting to see who are the two players that are going to come off. Here they come now. Mojdar Kraev is there, Nick Milanovic is there, there's no Aidan Hammond. And it's Gabriel Kleur by the looks of things. So this might require a little reshuffle, although Carluccio has played fullback in his Western Sydney Wanderers career. That may be the case again. So Sapsford's introduction means that Nick Milanovic can move back onto his more familiar right side of the attack. Sapsford hasn't scored in his last 6 in the A-League. We'll be looking to get some form up as we prepare to head into finals. Referee with a look at the watch, checks with the 4th official. And it is the Jets that get this second half underway. The Jets with nothing but pride left to play for this season. It's their final home match of the campaign, but they can still cause a few headaches for the sides they will meet between now and the end of the season. They have Melbourne Victory at Amy Park in a week's time. And Daniel McBreen, we've seen in the first half that the Wanderers aren't going to cruise to the 3 points today.
No, exactly right. They did create the better of the opportunities, but in saying that, weren't clear-cut either. I think Alan Stajic has looked at that and said, we need to change it. Looked a little bit disjointed down that right-hand side with Kleur and Hammond, if I'm honest. A couple of occasions when it did get out there, the timing of the runs and the pass being released didn't quite work, and I wonder if he's just thought, well, we're going to change that straight away. And Sapsford fighting through the middle and Milanovic in that wider area to really create havoc like he does.
I've seen Gabriel Kleur return already to the bench. receiving any extra treatment at the moment. It's the Wanderers who are on the front foot early in this second half. Here is Milanovic, who's chasing the golden boot in what looks to be his final A-League season, at least for the time being. Rumours growing stronger and stronger with each match, with each goal, that European football is beckoning. Panasopoulos with Milanovic, taking on Taylor. Carluccio arriving to offer some support. Milanovic still. Carluccio apologising to Josh Brillante, unable to make that one stick. Wanderers hold on to the ball though. Carluccio gets another chance. It's a good ball forward to Borello. He's been good back to goal this afternoon. Kraev, overlapping run down the left now. Goes back, drives it in low and hard. Brilliant football. And fired just wide again from Brandon Borello, who can't add to his 6 goals so far this season.
Well, he can't believe he hasn't hit the target there. Wonderful sweeping football from one side to the other. As Gersbach just fires it across as he spins on the touch. He drops to his knees as he sees it flies wide of the post. He knows it was a good opportunity to open the scoring.
They need that first goal to just breathe a little easier, the Western Sydney Wanderers. Bonatic goes back again. That was a really clever ball across the edge of the 18-yard box to pick out Borello. Lawrence Thomas. Kraev. Support from Priestman. Good challenge from Eli Adams. No free kick, says the referee. But Aquilina just turned straight into trouble. Brillante. Borello wants it into feet. Now Milanovic. Chance to get ahead of steam up here. Milanovic running at Taylor. Into the feet of Samsford. Can't control though under pressure from Shushnya.
Well, we saw last week Milanovic against Melbourne City down that right-hand side, cutting inside, strength, power, precision. I'm sure Alan Stadgett said to him, get out in that wide area, start running at players again.
Again, the Jets are using Lockie Rose, who's trying to hold the ball up back to goal, but he's far more effective running in behind. They just can't find that space at the moment. They're launching things from a little too deep. Carluccio, his turn to come inside. Oh, that's the second time. He's almost like he didn't see Mizunuma there. Claiming he was bundled over by Panasopoulos.
I thought it was good defending, to be fair. Panasopoulos just stepped across the line.
See Brandon Borello quick to get back onto his feet, quick to get things moving as quickly as possible. There's a renewed urgency about the Wanderers at the start of this second half. Bonatig. Dragged down again by Eli Adams. Brillante with Milanovic. Bring the ball back from right to left. Bonatig got Gersbach ahead of him on the touchline. Bonatig looks for the big switch to Milanovic. Wilmering's header. Lockie Rose is coming now, looking for the ball. Good strength from Carluccio. Priestman, Samsford. They're in control of things at the moment, the Wanderers. Taking the game to the Jets. Can they turn this pressure into something more tangible on the scoreboard. Good ball, Borrello. Carluccio. Again, his touch just got away from him. Now Wilmering the opportunity to get in there and make that interception.
Well, it was one of those ones where you thought he might have just racked it across first time. Runners in the box.
The Jets just can't hold on to the football at the start of this second half. Possession in the second half is over 80% in Wanderers' favour at the moment. Here they come again. Milanovic. Touch not the best, but he might yet get another opportunity. Borrello, Kraev. There was arms around the waist of Clayton Taylor. Kraev again. Carluccio. Priestman able to face forward. Sapsford gets it back to Priestman. That's good play again from the Wanderers. Now Gersbach. Short with Priestman. Brillante. Milanovic at the back post. Here's Carluccio. 4 to aim for in the middle. Jared Carluccio. Now Milanovic, the cutback. Clever idea. Gets it again. Can they create a clear scoring opportunity for all this domination? Brillante, Priestman. Kraev. Borrello again. Just wouldn't sit. Charles Mombois able to get the Jets to break forward with Clayton Taylor. Good ball inside. Mombois. Rob Stanton wants his side to sweep forward. There was space with Mizunuma on the right. He comes back to the left. Wilmering looking to measure the cross. Only finds the head of Panasopoulos.
Well, there was only Lockie Rose in the box in a gold shirt. 5 white shirts back there. Really much to aim for.
Still Wilmering with the throw, taking an age to find an option. They've struggled to get their good attacking players onto the ball, the likes of Taylor and Adams and Rose. Lockie Rose just 8 touches in the first half. Mombois with Shushnia. Mombois again, now a little bit of space. Aquilina. Mizunuma. An idea. Mizunuma's right foot is capable of providing something out of nothing. Kraev wins the throw. Let's head down to Daniel Garb, who's on the sidelines. Garby, what was the word out of the dressing rooms at half-time?
Well, we've seen the Wanderers start to heed Alan Stadic's word. He told his team, the opposition is vulnerable, we've got to exploit that. He said we've got to be more aggressive with our forward runs, just find an X-factor with our final pass or final play. He has told his team to just be mindful of covering those 2 yellow cards to Priestman and to Pantasopoulos. As for the Jets, Robbie Stanton said be mindful of Western Sydney's pressing. He wants his team to be more aggressive when they have the ball. Overall, though, he was comfortable with their first half.
Thank you very much, Daniel Garb. Super sleuth on the sidelines, doing his detective work during the break to find out what went on behind closed doors in the changing rooms. Message out of both camps. It's given away cheaply by Borrello. There are those 2 yellow cards that Garvey mentioned to Priestman and Panasopoulos. There's also 7 yellow cards this season for Nick Milanovic. 1 more and he will be suspended. The last one he picked up last weekend after the final whistle for going and remonstrating. Here's Borrello. Sapsford, the chance! And it's clinically slotted home, and Zach Sapsford has broken his drought. It saw him drop from kickoff, having not scored in his last 6. But on at half-time, and it's taken him just 11 minutes to break that drought and give Western Sydney the lead that their second half certainly deserves. Brandon Borello with another assist this season.
Well, there just seemed to be a tinge of frustration on the phase before this, and it's a poor ball on the Harvey Norman replay. Brandon Borello seizes on it, and he has the simplest of tasks of just rolling it square, and Sapsford tucks it away. But they've been resisting the Wanderers all night, the Jets, and then they just give it away simply. And all those frustrations now can melt away as Wanderers take a 1-0 lead. And they've tried so hard to break down the Jets' defence, haven't really had much to show for it, and it's a simple error at the back that changes the fortunes.
Well, he was on the score sheet in the 4-1 win over the Jets earlier this season, where Nick Milanovic scored a hat-trick. Sapsford's last goal was 6 minutes into the match against the Mariners that they won 4-0. You can see the relief when he slotted that one home. No chance for Ryan Scott.
Well, you said it, Robbie, relief. The phase before that, Brandon Borello had just passed one over the sideline, and you could just sense frustration starting to build up in the Wanderers players.
Now they're looking to add a second in quick succession. Shushna wants to have a word to Tim Danaskos asking where the free kicks were higher up the pitch. Rob Stanton's not happy either. There'll be a certain frustration amongst the Jets as well, having defended so hard and having frustrated the Wanderers for so long, to then give up such a soft goal. Rozos. Zanuma. He had Aquilina ahead of him. One of the rare occasions in the match, but couldn't exploit the overlapping run. Most Wanderers fans, the RBB on the road to Newcastle, just lifting it up another couple of decibels. Now, Wilmering has stepped on the ankle there, Nick Milanovic.
Well, not only has he stepped on the ankle, he's just gone full-blooded through the back of him with no intention of getting the ball. You can see there, no desire whatsoever to try and win the ball. I don't think he can have any arguments.
I'd argue he will. An hour gone. Daniel Wilmering joining Priestman and Pandazopoulos just to finish on that yellow card discussion. One more. Nick Milanovic will have to serve a one-game suspension for 8 in a season. And when you're in the race for the Golden Boot as well, Stadge said he's probably one of the top 2 players in the league at the moment.
Well, he'd have to be up there as well. He's been outstanding this year. As we said, he down on last year's performances. He must be in the reckoning near the top of the charts for the player of the season.
Momadou as Rose looking to put the pressure on Lawrence Thomas, and Pandazopoulos wins the throw. He's a goal behind Adrian Segicic and Archie Goodwin at the moment. Don't forget, massive match coming up after this one. Between Melbourne City and Adelaide United. Must win for Adelaide, as Carl Beard said this week. They have nothing to lose. They have to go for it. Melbourne City, they have quite a bit to lose. They have made no secret of the fact that they want to be representing the A-League in the Champions League Elite next season. Timmins, never far from a flashpoint. He's at 7:40 this evening on 10 Bold and Paramount Plus. A win for City. They will take a big step towards securing that second place. Of course, depending on what happens with Auckland, if there's a 10 or 12 goal turnaround, they could potentially dream always. Here goes Eli Adams, so fleet of foot, so dangerous in those sort of broken ball situations where he arrives, looking to combine with Lockie Rose.
Well, they're looking for some inspiration. Yet to register a shot on target, the Jets. Alex Thomas has hardly been called into action. You see there, Lockie Rose just in an offside position as the ball comes forward.
Zopoulos, oh, for a moment there. Ryan Scott was beaten from a long way out by Costa Barbarouses, but it wasn't that far out earlier this season.
Well, we saw the one earlier this year where Panazopoulos was a goal kick, wasn't it? Went the whole distance. Was it Milanovic who just touched it as it was crossing the line and took it off him?
So he's still trying for that goal. Here's Milanovic again. Nick Milanovic down to the byline, cutting it back towards Sapsford. Now Kraev, Priestman, goes back. Milanovic again. Milanovic shooting, and that's required saving from Ryan Scott.
Well, it was definitely a shot, wasn't it? First I thought he was shaping up to cross it. It's got on the left foot, sneaking in the bottom corner. Ryan Scott doesn't get something on that. Maybe going wide, but he wasn't to know.
Brillante, back post, the header. Well, he's starting to warm to the occasion, isn't he, Nick Milanovic? He wants that goal to go top of the Golden Boot. Change coming for the Newcastle Jets. Lockie Bayliss coming on to replace Charles Mombois in the middle of the pitch. He's a very versatile midfielder, Lockie Bayliss. We've seen him play just about every position apart from central defence this season. Looks like he's heading immediately down alongside Callum Timmins.
There, just trying to strain the neck muscles to get the power and direction.
Good touch from Eli Adams. Referee allows the advantage. Clayton Taylor, Wilmering arriving, lays it off for Lockie Bayliss. First touch of the contest, and now Eli Adams is still down as the referee comes across to investigate. Costa Grozos having a word in his ear.
Well, whether it was a foul or not, let's have another look here. It's clearly a foul, isn't it? But he's allowed the play to go on here. I think that's good refereeing. And that's the first touch that Lockie Bayliss won't want to remember.
Well, clearly a foul, as you say, by Alex Bonatig. Eli Adams, who's back to his feet and able to continue. Just a perfect introduction for Lockie Bayliss. And Panazopoulos with that cannon of a right foot. Goes back, takes over. Milanovic at the back post. Goes back, looking for Borello again. Now Priestman. Carluccio opening up on this right-hand side. Brillante. Panazopoulos again. The Jets have to chase the game now, so the Wanderers can invite that press forward. Borello. Now Lucho gets there, but he's given it straight back to Lockie Rose. The Jets with numbers forward here, 5 of them. Mizunuma shoots, and it's blocked by Lawrence Thomas. That looked to be moving around in the air. And now the Wanderers. Rosas holding it up just enough to get numbers back. The next wave arrives in the form of Milanovic. Milanovic still. Blocked by Eli Adams. And again, the Jets try and spring forward. Wilmering. Clayton Taylor. There's not enough gold shirts around the ball in support. White shirts everywhere, able to just pick the ball off as it comes back. That's tomorrow afternoon, Auckland FC against Perth Glory. Auckland need just a point, and they will be celebrating the first ever New Zealand silverware in their inaugural season. The Premier's Plate almost certainly confirmed tomorrow against a Perth Glory side who need the win themselves to try and lift themselves off the bottom and above Brisbane Roar to avoid another wooden spoon. Brisbane's win earlier today over Wellington Phoenix, courtesy of Florent Berenguer. They are 4 points above Perth Glory now. Borello, flag up for offside. Midway through the second half. Wilmering. Mizunuma. Lockie Rose to aim for in the middle. It's a great ball from Kota Mizunuma. And that telepathic link we talked about, not quite there at the moment with Lockie Rose.
The game's starting to open up a little bit. Both teams half opportunities. There's only one thing on Mizunuma's mind when he gets that ball in the wide area is how can I get this across that 6-yard box and onto the body of a gold shirt.
Milanovic still working hard for his team. Brillante under pressure. He's done brilliantly. Milanovic fouled just by Clayton Taylor. Rolling ball, Alan Stajic. Once more from his players. A little bit too ragged edge for his liking. The Jets subs warming up, just the one change so far made by Rob Stanton. Good touch again from Borello. The step overs, Borello still going. Goes back now, drives it across. Oh, and Samson should have had a second. And this one could almost be over. As it is, Ryan Scott's improvised save keeps the Jets in it. Anazopoulos, great play from Borello, and Gersbach's delivery from that left-back position is going to be a major threat comes finals football.
Yeah, he's done so well since he's come back, and biding his time. Let's have another look here as that ball comes across. I think it's just a little behind Sapsford, and he tried to twist the body and didn't quite get the connection he wanted. still think he'll think should have done better.
Kraev for Carluccio. Wilmering does well. Shushnya not so well, gives it back, but Carluccio can't control. There's a foul on Wilmering. It's Rob Stanton, you can hear bellowing from his technical area. Carluccio's just picked up a little knock in there, perhaps he turned his ankle. It's been a tough old season at McDonald Jones Stadium for Jet supporters. They won none of their first 6 matches here all season. They have managed to turn things around. As we said, they had the ultimate glory of winning the derby by 6 goals to 0, and perhaps there's more here. Eli Adams and Lockie Rose should have given them at least one more goal to celebrate this season at home.
Well, he's not sure how he's missed. Eli Adams didn't give it up. Josh Brillante just gets it a little wrong, and it's almost on a platter. Eli Adams does wonderfully well. He just tries to tuck it in that near post. Somehow contrives to put it the wrong side of the post.
Massive let-off for the Wanderers. It's just a 6th effort of the evening for the Newcastle Jets against 13 for the Wanderers. Brillante with Panazopoulos. Milanovic. Borello, that's a fantastic ball for Sapsford. Now he goes down. This could be trouble for Shushnya. Referee has got the yellow card out. Well, the Wanderers can't believe it. I don't think Shushnya can either, to tell you the truth.
Well, I can't. Well, for mine, Zach Sapsford was away on goal there. He gets across. The other defender.
There's the holding of the shirt.
Holding of the shirt. It's the wider angle we need to see where that covering defender was.
Shushnya still pleading his case to anyone who'll listen at the moment. Referee Tim Danaskos, is he receiving a little word in his ear? He's standing where he feels the free kick should be taken from, and he's walking away, so looks as though everyone's happy. Let's have a look here. It's pretty, about as close as you could be to last player, isn't it?
Well, let's just say that Shushnya can think himself a very lucky man. I feel if he doesn't pull the shirt there, Sapson's away on goal.
Well, the Wanderers player still asking the question of the referee. Now, what are we waiting for? If this is Panazopoulos in the ear of the referee. Clearly feels happy enough with his decision, and it's confirmed by the VAR, so we are good to go. Goes back, the cross towards Milanovic. Panazopoulos was there waiting. 15 minutes to go. Lawrence Thomas goes back long again towards Nick Milanovic. Clayton Taylor's touch. Timmins. For the moment, it's Sapsford goal that separates these two sides. Lockie Bayliss, he had a good chance with his first touch. Adams back for Bayliss. Adams again, nice football. Into the area, and he just couldn't make it stick, Eli Adams.
He just wanted an extra touch, didn't he? Managed to find himself a little bit of space in the box. Pressure came quickly.
Borrello still running for everything. Shushnow keeps it in. Movement down on the Wanderers bench. Antonsen and Juan Mata preparing to come on. Mata, who has watched the last 2 matches from the substitutes bench without being called on by Alan Stajic. Number 64 is ready to come into the contest now. Well played, Kraev, brilliant run, lays it back, Brillante palmed out, Sapsford gets it straight back, looks to cross, Ryan Scott comes against his old Western United teammate Nick Milanovic and makes the save. There's the live ladder as it stands. The win for Western Sydney Wanderers, the 3 points from the win. If it remains, will lift them back above Melbourne victory. You can see Western United, who take on Sydney tomorrow, now down in 5th place, but can go back to 44 points with a win themselves. It is so tight in the battle for second. Wilmering back in. Panazopoulos again with the defensive header. Long throw. Just to create a little bit of space for Shushnow. I'm sure it really looked like anyone wanted the long throw. It's Grozos. Those 2 substitutions for Western Sydney are ready now. Next stoppage. Unless, of course, that's defending a corner. Here's Aquilina. A rare foray across the halfway line for him this evening. Mizunuma, his cross, left foot this time, glancing header from Lockie Bayliss. And those substitutions come now. Borrello is making way. So is Josh Brillante for Juan Mata. Borrello coming off for Marcus Antonsen. A good game, Brandon Borrello.
Well, they both had great games. Josh Brillante has done so much covering of his fullbacks as they've gone forward. He stifled the attacks of Taylor, Lockie Rose, Eli Adams. He's been everywhere. Both deserve a rest.
Juan Mata into the contest. Hasn't had the impact on the pitch that many would have hoped for when he was unveiled as the Wanderers' massive off-season signing, but by all accounts his presence within the squad has been exceptional. A man of great class as a human and a player. Shushnow on the charge. Wilmering again, always full of running down the left flank. One of those former Western Sydney Wanderers players. Mike Aquilina, Grozos. Little 1-2. Priestman gets across in cover. Mark Natta and Phil Kankar, the other 2. On the bench. Still warming up by the looks of things because the Jets are preparing changes of their own. Mizunuma brings the ball down cleverly. Timmins looking to find space. Timmins just ran into traffic. Sapsford. Very clever. Holding onto the ball. And Lockie Bayliss went to ground.
Well, for about 5 or 10 minutes after Western Sydney scored their goal, as we'll see the 2 substitutions now, Gibson and Ingham on. It felt like the game was just going to roll Western Sydney's way. Well, the Jets haven't lied down. They're not reading the script, and they're going to fight till the end.
Well, the 100th A-League match for LA Rose doesn't finish with a goal. And he's pretty disappointed as he makes his way to the bench as well, shaking everyone's hand. Disappointed with himself, I think. But it's been a hard slog out there for the number 9. Ben Gibson, his first A-League season. He's already brought 4 goals and 4 assists. And he's now up front. To a right wing position now as Grozos thought about looking for him immediately. Now Adams rides the challenge of Mata, looking for Gibson. Now Lucho's gone down, he's been caught by a high boot from Eli Adams.
They're the positions we've seen Eli Adams get into earlier in the season. Just find a little pocket of space in the midfield between defensive lines, midfield lines. You can see the foul. On occasion, his through ball was quite easily read by the Western Sydney defence, but still caused problems. And this game isn't done yet.
It's just a little bit of frustration seeping into the Wanderers' ranks. Shushnya, all the way back to Ryan Scott. Timmins. Timmins again. Gets it back from Aquilina. Looks across to Wilmery. Taking a very uneven bounce there. Bayless. Central with the introduction of Ingham. That foul goes Wanderers' way. Plenty of Wanderers fans in amongst all those fans on the far side there. Carluccio, little touch with Priestman. Goes down by Bayless. 5.5 minutes left in regulation time. Are the Jets going to provide a little surprise finish for this final home match of the season? Incidentally, if it stays this way, this will be their 100th defeat in A-League history at McDonald Jones Stadium. Necessarily a milestone they will want to remember. At the moment they're staring down a 12th defeat of the season, which is one more than last year. For Rob Stanton on his side. See their fans still in good cheer around the ground. Probably because the rain stayed away as well for so long. Those on both hills. Bonatig. Huge clearance, and again taking that heavy bounce just in front of Ryan Scott. Judged it perfectly. calling for his players to stay focused, to keep going. There's the Paramount Plus player index. In these final minutes of the match, Milanovic, Brillante, Sapsford, Priestman, it's pretty much all Wanderers. Aquilina there rounding out the top 5. Here he is on the ball. Former Wanderer, but it's been workmanlike from the Jets. They haven't been put away though by the Wanderers so far. Just the one shot on target that came from distance from this man Mizunuma, which brought a good save. Now first time cross is a good one. Carluccio, his eye on the ball the whole way. Alexander Shushnyar again. Wilmering with Bayliss. For Timmins. Showed too much of it to Carluccio, but he's still going. Callum Timmins. Milanovic. They're not being afforded any space to work with at the moment, the Wanderers, as the Jets are throwing everything into this final 2.5 minutes to try and rain on the Wanderers' parade. Ingham with Wilmering. Cross in, Panasopoulos. Oh, he had to just pull out of that challenge at the last minute, but he managed to adjust just in time.
Dane Ingham trying to use his pace to get him behind, just help it on there. They are pressing high, the Jets. They want to try and get something out of this game.
As it stands, the Wanderers are third in the standings, a point behind Melbourne City. There's Ingham lunging in from behind. It's going to be a yellow card for that challenge on Gersbach. Has to be careful not to talk himself straight into a second.
He's really had an argument there, does he? You can see he goes straight through the foot. It's Gersbach. Yes, he gets the ball, but he's gone through the player first.
So after yellow cards for Priestman and Panasopoulos early in this contest, the second half has been Wilmering, Shushnyar and Ingham. The final minute of the 90. Antonsen, just about his first touch of the football since coming on, Marcus Antonsen. That long ball, he's won a throw. The Wanderers looking to continue their late charge this season. It's a goal kick, so they'll have more defending to do here. Tell me they're going to play themselves into trouble again. They've given it away. Mata. Ball for Milanovic. Looking for the cutback. It's very well defended. Again by Shushnyar. Timmins for Bayliss. Adams. Very well defended. Not such a good pass out though from Panasopoulos. Timmins with Adams. His cross, good ball as well. Had really good pace and curl on it as he whipped it in. Here's Aquilina. 4 minutes of stoppage time. Bayliss. Bayliss still, nice feet. Ingham. Oh, and that's a wasted opportunity.
Well, it's just a poor cross, isn't it? Great work from Lockie Bayliss. Just strolled through a couple of defenders as we see Alte coming into the fray. Nice feet there. Now tired defenders. It's just sloppy from Dane Ingham.
Well, when you've waited that long for a good opportunity as well, there is pressure on, of course, but that's the quality that's just been lacking a little too much this season. Alte is coming on to replace Priestman, who has literally run himself into the ground. 6 tackles, more than any other player on the pitch this evening. Oscar Priestman, and probably a couple of kilometres more than everybody else as well. Sapsford's glancing header. Grozos. Aquilina for Ingham. Pressure from Gersbach. A little bit of space here for Timmins. Mo Alte is into the action in the centre of the park. Wilmering didn't fancy it on his right. Might more now on his left, does so. Back post towards Gibson. Gersbach does well with Krayev. Anywhere will do. One for Antonsen to chase. Kept in by Ryan Scott. He did well, the keeper. Grozos with Shushnya. Ball for Aquilina. He looks up and crosses. Deflected. Adams' touch got away from him. Mata finds Sapsford. Antonsen. Carluccio. Sapsford's in space. Milanovic is at the back post. Is there one last flourish from the Western Sydney Wanderers? Oof. Here's Anuma straight through Alte. No foul, says the referee. Ingham. Is there a final flourish from the Jets? Wilmering with Bayliss. Lines it up, hits it, deflected. It looked good off the boot as well from Bayliss. Panazopoulos celebrates his deflection. 40 seconds left and a corner for the home side. And Ryan Scott is coming up for it, the goalkeeper. He's gone straight up to do the marking job on Lawrence Thomas. He's a great character, Ryan Scott. Goes to the back post. It's Mizunuma to deliver. It's a good ball. Outstanding header, Bonatic. Back in from Wilmering. Again, cleared. Mata with the second header. Mo Alte with the big up and under. Juan Mata. That was a poor touch. Bayliss brushes him off the ball, but his cross is overhit. And that might just be that. It is the Wanderers with the 12th win of the season, make it 11 games without defeat, 10 away matches without loss. They are one of the form sides as we head towards finals football. No joy in the final home match of the season for the Jets, their 100th loss at McDonald Jones Stadium. And a 12th defeat of a disappointing season for them. They still have one more to come. Away to Melbourne victory next week. For the Western Sydney Wanderers, they will be looking to finish the job against MacArthur next Saturday in their final game. Their supporters, who travelled up in great numbers, were rewarded with Zach Sapsford's 8th goal of the season. Enough to get them across the line. It wasn't their most flamboyant performance, the likes of which we've become accustomed to in recent weeks. But like all good sides, even when the going gets tough, they manage to get the result. They've done that this evening. It's finished here in Newcastle. The Jets 0, Wanderers 1. Juan Mata. Let's have a look at the Harvey Norman highlights then. Maka, for all their hard work, the Jets in the end, they just gave it away.
Yeah, it was just an errant pass.